See, I began with media because media began with me. And I decided from that moment on, I am TV. Because when you broadcast your faith, you get alienated. And really, who wants to be E.T.? And yes, I remember the time I gave in to my desire to blend in because I couldn't beat it. So I moonwalked my way back into slavery from freedom, trying to be bad like them. I said, I'm good on Jesus. And just like that, Satan, being the smooth criminal he is, creeps in a human nature to jack sons out of the kingdom. And sometimes the church doesn't even understand, and it's fearful. Because when the folks come in lost, we forget who they're there for. Like, these seats are for the deacons, but you can sit way in the rear though. Or when someone just gets saved and leaps in praise because they're cheerful, somebody taps their neighbor like, I told you he was a weirdo. And all my life, my focus has been on what he deems, or what she deems, that I didn't have the time nor will to be redeemed. I needed someone to validate the thoughts that Satan valet parked in my heart till I sought spiritualists who taught me that I needed to find myself. But even nature proves that the best way to know what something is to know what something came from. So it's apparent that knowing the parent is imperative. But my original parents were flawed. So I had to change parents, and trans means change. So I had to become transparent, then God could see me through because he had to see through me to show me who I am in him. And God told me that the only place that I would ever fit in was his arms, and I could see that I was different because there was no difference between standing out and outstanding. And I am unique, and I am his seed, and I am a blood-washed child of his kingdom. And instantly I received it. So even when people think that I'm fake, and I thank them, because one day I prayed to be Christ's imitation. Tribulations, I eat them for dinner, with persecutions for breakfast. And yes, it's hard to swallow and too big for me to stomach this burden. So I throw up my arms like white flags, because I'm bulimic to this earth, plus surrendering is worship. I'm not perfect, but I'm a servant that makes my body a servant, which makes me certain that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. To God, I'm a saint, but to Satan, I'm a monster. So when it comes to Lucifer head bruising, I should be rocking a medal. I'm a man, but when stomping devils, it's like I'm rocking stilettos. We're to God's heart. That makes us obviously special. No wonder why these cholesterol demons are so stuck on blocking these vessels. Because they know that we're walking records of the greatest producer that ever lived. Our God's been making beats since the first chapter of Genesis. But I can't deny that I had to use real eyes to realize that I had an eye problem until I visited the eye doctor. And he told me that I needed to cross out my knees, to cross out my eyes, and that I'd never be able to see life until I see life cross-eyed. Cross-eyed. He changed the way I see and literally became my Visine, just to show me that without a drop of him, I burn. I said, without a drop of him, I burn. And as a result, I've learned never to battle with my wardrobe, nor to cling like lint to the very things I use to clothe my self-esteem, but rather to acknowledge God. And even though I may stink to life, he washed me and made me fresh to death. Yes, I am fresh to death. Who cares what the world thinks of me? I'm so fresh that even if I die now, my soul will be like the sweetest aroma to God, while my bones will be doing the Dougie. This is my point for those of you that fell asleep during everything I was saying. Never be so obsessed with image that you forget whose you're made in. So if anyone ever tells you that you only count if you fit in. They should be held accountable for teaching counterfeiting. But instead I say, for those who've been saved by his grace and his favor, stop trying to please them, because it's not their job nor place to embrace you. Because I'd rather be an outcast now than get cast out later. Yeah. You see, when God shapes your mind, you choose virtue over sin and start feeling like a square despite the circle that you're in. He said, come out from among them and be ye separate from the superficial things of this life. That's the only type of segregation that Christ has ever accepted. And let's just say that the body was solely appearance-based. If you were to take away the beautiful face and the curvy shape, then what would you have left to hold on to? Nothing but a waste. So when I look into a mirror, instead of seeing my flyness, I simply behold the graceful skills of a magnificent pilot, recognizing that I was born like this to conform to his likeness, and that my only identity crisis was an identity crisis, my failure to see and identify who Christ is. See, my advice is plain. If you're tired of trying to fit into the world, let's pretend this is our fitting room and change.